about Cuba, about the situation that we are facing today in Cuba, because the imperialists want to defeat our revolution, but we stand firm because that is our essence. We always stand with Africa. Many Ghanaian students first graduate in Cuba. We have thousands of doctors working here in many places of Ghana. But it's solidarity, and this is our essence. So thank you very much for your solidarity, and it is an honor for me to be here. I will let my colleague Jamil, the second head of mission, he have the speech from Cuba. So thank you very much, and long live Ghana!
Sorry, we had this prepared, so I followed the script. But there's so much more things that we would like to say. But because of time, probably we won't. I will read this. Dear friends, on behalf of the people and government of Cuba, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you and to the All African People's Revolutionary Party for your invitation for us, for your unwavering solidarity with Cuba. It is both an honor and a duty for us to stand here today as we commemorate Africa Liberation Day. Cuba and Ghana share a long and fruitful friendship and cooperation that spans 67 years. Our leaders, the founding father Kwame Nkrumah and Commander-in-Chief Fidel Castro, began this beautiful history through their shared revolutionary and anti-colonial ideals. Cuba has always stood with Africa not only in words, but in deeds. Thousands of young Ghanaians have studied and graduated from Cuban universities, and hundreds of Cuban doctors have served to the brotherly people of Ghana right up to this very day. Comrades, I feel the responsibility to tell you that Cuba is currently facing one of the most serious and difficult moments in its history. Today, my country faces the real threat of the direct military aggression by the government of the United States of America. Repeated statements by senior officials, along with the actions taken by that government, clearly demonstrates this. Cuba, that small island in the Caribbean, is not and cannot be an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security of the United States, as absurdly claimed in the executive order signed by Donald Trump on January 29 and May 1st of this year. That claim is a deliberate lie. It is Cuba that is being threatened and attacked on every front by the brutal and hostile empire that despises us. Just a few days ago, after imposing extreme economic pressure on Cuba, the U.S. president has openly suggested that the only option left is to take or liberate the island. No one should doubt the determination of the Cuban people to defend our sovereignty, our independence, and our rights to self-determination. If we are attacked, they will find a united people ready to resist any aggression against our homeland to the very end. We are a country of peace. Nobody wants war. Cuba sends doctors and teachers around the world. Cuba offers health care and education, not bombs or threats. The cruel tightening of the genocidal blockade imposed on Cuba over the past decades has had a severe impact on our economy. and on our social and humanitarian conditions of our people. Since 2019, with the introduction of 243 additional coercive measures, the United States government has intensified its effort to deprive Cuba of vital supplies, including fuel, with the clear intention of suffocating our country and provoking shortages and discontent in order to provoke the overthrowing of the revolution. With the approval of an executive order on January 29 of this year, the United States introduced yet another extraordinary measure, imposing tariff on any country that exports fuel to Cuba. In practice, this amounts a total of a total of a total to this amounts to a total energy blockade on top of an already intensified economic blockade of more than 60 years of accumulated damage. On May 1st, the U.S. government issued another executive order, once again declaring Cuba an unusual and extraordinary threat to the U.S. national security and foreign policy, a blatant lie, while sanctioning individuals and companies from third countries that export to Cuba. A complete siege. This energy blockade has severely affected electricity generation, causing prolonged blackouts, disruptions in the water pumping, and shortages of liquefied gas, and serious difficulties in the production and
Oh, light out.
I'll do my best. This energy blockade has severely affected electricity generation, causing
Right
prolonged
when he's talking about
blackouts,
electricity.
disruptions in water pumping, and shortages of liquefied gas, and serious difficulties in the production and distribution of food, goods, and services. Transportation and medical services are also affected. And today, millions of people, children, women, and the elderly are suffering the consequences. Paradoxically, the United States government has publicly announced through a State Department statement an offer of assistance to Cuba worth $100 million. Yet, no contact has been established with the Cuban authorities. It is still unclear whether this assistance would come in cash or in kind, or whether it would truly address the most urgent needs of our people. This so-called generosity from those who subject the Cuban people to collective punishment through economic warfare is deeply contradictory. Nevertheless, the Cuban government does not reject, as a matter of principle, any foreign aid that is offered in good faith and with genuine cooperative intention. Cuba has been willing to engage in respectful, serious, and responsible dialogue with the government of the United States in order to address our profound differences, but never under pressure, never with a dagger at our chest, as Fidel used to say. We will never negotiate with the United States over issues that belong exclusively to the sovereignty and our independence, and the free self-determination of the Cuba remains firm and committed to its principles. We know that for our oppressed people around the world, we represent an example of dignity in the face of a powerful enemy. And this moment will be no different. Now, just 3 days ago, a new act of aggression has been imposed upon us, and the revolutionary government strongly condemns the disgraceful accusation made by the U.S. government against the leader of the revolution, Army General Raúl Castro. The U.S. government has neither the legitimacy nor the jurisdiction to accuse Raúl Castro of anything. This is not. This is nothing more than a despicable and illegal political provocation. That government is dishonestly manipulating a event that, in February 1996, led to the shooting down over Cuban airspace of two aircraft belonging to the Miami-based terrorist organization Brothers to the Rescue, which had repeatedly violated Cuban airspace. Cuba duly reported more than 25 serious and deliberate violations of our airspace by those aircraft between 1994 and 1996. Cuba warned the U.S. authorities and the President of the United States at the time. Cuba's response was an act of legitimate self-defense. The U.S. government has killed nearly 200 people and destroyed 57 vessels in international waters in the Caribbean and the Pacific over alleged and never proven links to the drug trafficking operation. This clearly exposes the enormous hypocrisy and cynicism behind its accusations against Army General. The United States government has no moral authority whatsoever to accuse Cuba of anything. Today, more than ever, international solidarity is essential. We need voices everywhere to denounce these injustices, to help spread the truth about our struggle. Let us rise today in solidarity with Cuba. As our national hero Jose Marti said, whoever rises today for Cuba rises for all time. We urge you to join and sign for Cuba, a noble initiative that is growing across social media. Every signature counts. www.vivoporcuba.com. The struggle continues until victory forever.
¡Viva Cuba! ¡Viva Cuba!